What if the Black Death never happened? Europe, 1347. Black Sea ships arrive at Messina. Rats infest cargo. Fleas jump. Disease spreads. Millions die. Fields lie empty. Cities collapse. Panic spreads faster than plague. Families vanish. Labor disappears. Power shifts violently. Lords die. Peasants die. Kings lose armies. Trade freezes. Knowledge falters. Society teeters on the edge. But imagine a world where the plague never arrives. Rats remain carriers. Fleas never bite. Mortality rates remain normal. Europe's population remains intact. What follows is not catastrophe, but continuity. Demography changes the trajectory of history. Social structures remain stable. Hierarchies persist. Feudalism retains dominance. Peasants remain bound to the land. Wages do not rise. Serfdom survives centuries longer. Nobility retains power unchallenged. Estates remain intact. Generational wealth accumulates without interruption. Towns grow slowly. Urbanization proceeds gradually. Migration pressure diminishes. Universities expand conservatively. Knowledge spreads, but lacks crisis-driven acceleration. Renaissance exists, but delayed. Artistic innovation occurs steadily, not explosively. Political transformation proceeds incrementally. Social mobility remains rare. Cities expand physically, but not socially. Cultural evolution slows. Literature, philosophy, art develop cautiously. Mortality, anxiety absent. Fear-driven creativity delayed. Religious authority stronger. Church retains unquestioned power. Papacy centralizes influence. Popular revolts fewer. Mysticism grows slowly. Theology dominates philosophy. Religious reform delayed. Iconoclasm occurs later, if at all. Economically, labor remains abundant. Agricultural innovation slows. Fields rely on manual labor. Mechanization delayed. Crop yields limited by traditional methods. Guild monopolies persist. Urban craft remains tightly controlled. Trade grows steadily. Maritime commerce develops slowly. Venice, Genoa, Florence dominate trade, but technological breakthroughs occur decades later. Banking expands cautiously. Risk management remains conservative. Markets grow predictably. Inflation stable. Population pressure creates competition later. Colonization efforts altered. Overseas expansion delayed. Exploration proceeds methodically. Scientific curiosity slower, incremental. Printing press arrives, but intellectual environment less urgent. Literacy spreads, but cultural acceleration diminished. Universities grow steadily, not explosively. Hospitals expand conservatively. Public health evolves gradually. Quarantine practices slow to develop. Epidemiology delayed. Observation-based medicine arrives centuries later. Experimentation proceeds cautiously. Mortality shocks absent. Urgency for systemic reform missing. Politically, monarchs retain stable armies. Kings consolidate power gradually. Nobility entrenched. Centralization slower. Feudal systems dominate longer. Warfare continues at medieval scale. 100 years, war proceeds with slower social pressure, revolts rare, state formation delayed, administrative structures stable but conservative, diplomatic innovation slow. International alliances form incrementally. Treaty systems evolve cautiously. Europe remains fragmented, but hierarchy unchallenged. Eastern Europe, Russia, Poland remain under slow political evolution. Ottoman expansion proceeds normally, but Europe less destabilized. Borders shift predictably. Military innovation driven by conflict delayed. Gunpowder weapons adopted slowly. Fortification evolves conservatively. Naval technology progresses steadily. Global trade networks expand methodically. Colonial empires arrive later, less intense. Population distribution alters labor availability in colonies. Slavery systems persist, but revolutionary pressure delayed. Cultural syncretism slower. Scientific knowledge accumulates gradually. By the 16th century, Europe remains populous, hierarchical, stable. Technology exists, but innovation lacks urgency. Artistic achievement steady, not dramatic. Printing spreads ideas, but intellectual ferment slower. Exploration occurs, but momentum reduced. Economic power concentrated. Cities thrive, but inequality persists. Knowledge survives. Catastrophic shocks absent. Industrial precursors delayed. Mechanization, navigation, astronomy progress slowly. Maritime empires expand cautiously. Colonization of the Americas delayed, intensity reduced. Global demographic pressure shifts. Cultural exchange occurs later. Philosophical breakthroughs slower. Scientific method delayed. Empirical observation emerges, but without societal crisis to accelerate adoption. Medicine advances gradually. Sanitation reforms postponed. Epidemiology arrives centuries later. Population growth pressures urban planning and resource management incrementally. In this alternate history, Europe remains strong, continuous, hierarchical, predictable. Civilization survives intact. Social structures endure. Knowledge accumulates steadily. Art, science, literature advance incrementally. Political evolution proceeds cautiously. Monarchs maintain control. Nobility entrenched. Church authority unchallenged. Revolts rare. Economic systems stable. Trade grows predictably. Technological progress slow, but persistent. Cultural development linear, not exponential. Scientific discovery incremental. Medicine advances gradually. Public health reforms delayed. Education expands steadily. Literacy grows cautiously. Universities function conservatively. Intellectual communities form, but crisis-driven innovation absent. Maritime empires develop slowly. Colonial expansion occurs, but intensity muted. Population pressures emerge later. Human progress steady, continuous, predictable. The greatest consequence is subtle, profound. Humanity evolves without catastrophic shock. Social recalibration absent. Economic and technological leaps delayed. Political centralization stable, but innovation restrained. Cultural creativity exists, but urgency missing. Knowledge survives, but acceleration diminished. The modern world emerges later. Industrialization postponed. Scientific revolution arrives slowly. Exploration continues, but global awareness delayed. Political revolutions delayed. Power concentrated, hierarchy persistent. Civilization thrives without collapse, but innovation muted. Shock absent. Urgency absent. Continuity preserved. Progress steady. The Black Death, for all horror, catalyzed humanity. Its absence produces stability, abundance, slow evolution. Europe remains populous, orderly, hierarchical. Innovation exists, but lacks dramatic acceleration. Civilization grows steadily, predictably, cautiously. Knowledge accumulates without interruption, but leaps delayed. Art, science, economy, politics, religion advance gradually. Social mobility rare, nobility secure, church dominant. Cities thriving, but evolution slow. Population pressures gradual. Industrial revolution postponed. Scientific breakthrough delayed. Human history reshaped by continuity rather than catastrophe. Europe survives intact, but the crucible that defined rapid transformation never arrives. Civilization exists, stable, powerful, predictable, delayed. Progress inevitable, but measured. Humanity evolves steadily. Knowledge accumulates. Art flourishes. Science grows. Civilization endures. The world continues, intact, without the Black Death.